Tobe Davis here with another Agave Spirit Sip-oseum review, this time analyzing Estancia Raicilla. Many agave spirits have received a bad rep over the years, both deserved and undeserved. In the towns along Texas's border with Coahuila and Chihuahua, the Texas Rangers used to report that anytime trouble jumped out on a Friday or Saturday night, there was a good chance Sotol was involved. In its home state of Sonora, Bacanora was banned from 1915 to 1992. But no agave distillate has been disrespected quite as bad as Raicilla. Dubbed Mexican moonshine, the stories of soul and stomach-wrenching hangovers are legendary and legion. There was a story of an English tourist who made a foray up into the hills of Jalisco to find a illicit Raicilla distillery, and when the proprietor gave him his second-hand soda bottle full of homemade Raicilla, he noticed that there was a fly floating at the top of it. "What's a fly doing in my Raicilla?" he asked the Raicillero. The Raicillero replied, "Es muy contento, compadre." Death, where is thy sting? With a reputation like that, I was a little wary when I bought my first bottle of Raicilla, and the first brand that I tried was Estancia. I couldn't have been more wrong, but not without reason. You see, at the time I bought Estancia, back in 2015, the company was relatively new, and Estancia Raicilla is actually a labor of love. Estancia is the life stream of a man by the name of Rio Chenry. Half Australian, half Mexican by birth, Rio's maternal grandfather had a job working for Tecate Cerveza in the 1960s. And he would drive around the cities and towns in Jalisco promoting Tecate Cerveza. And he got to know the Raicilleros who created Raicilla right there in Jalisco in the middle of tequila country. Fast forward a couple of decades, and Grandpa is taking teenage Rio along with him on these trips. And Rio got to meet the men who distilled the Raicilla. And his teenage mind always wondered on these trips, how come the whole world knows about tequila? Nobody's ever heard of Raicilla. A few years later, college grad Rio Chenry did something about that. Along with a friend of his named Jonas Brewer, he purchased a distillery in the foothills of the Sierra Madre Occidental in Jalisco, and in the town of Estancia, he created Estancia Raicilla. Hiring master distiller Juan Ramos, they began to produce their own Raicilla in 2014. Created by harvesting local Maximiliana agaves, the agave piñas are cooked in adobe ovens, crushed, and then fermented in old Jack Daniel's whiskey barrels until they are distilled twice in alembic stills. After that, the Raicilla is then poured into these lovely, stubby, cube-like bottles, which are rumored to be created from old recycled Coca-Cola bottles. Let's give this Raicilla a try. Has a very nice mint pine fragrance to it. Incredibly smooth. Mint and menthol are the first flavors that come to mind, but extremely sweet, very, very drinkable Raicilla, this. superb. With a Norma Official of 142, Estancia Raicilla clocks in at around 45 ABV, 90 proof. The website offers many suggestions as to lovely cocktails that you could make with Estancia Raicilla. I have yet to make any of them. I have yet to be able to contaminate this wonderful beverage with anything as far as a mixer or a chaser. I've only ever drunk it straight. That's how good it is. Not to rest on their laurels, Rio Chenry's company has come up with 2 new spirits. The Raicilla Pechuga and the Destilado di Pulque Raicilla, which I will be reviewing sometime in 2042 and later in 2051 if I survive. This is Tobe Davis saying, adios amigo.